to part 2 of NoDQ Live for February 12th, 2018. YouTube just completely froze me and took me off air. Am I that bad? Am I that bad, YouTube, that you have to shut me down? Jeez Louise. Anyways, I am back. This is part 2. Hopefully, this will go smoother than part 1. Jeff Meacham is calling, so let's go ahead and do this live call here on NoDQ Live. Let's see if this works. Jeff, are you there?
I'm here, but the live stream was off, Aaron.
This is a new stream. You are on NoDQ Live right now, my friend.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me go in the other room, man, because I thought it wasn't working. Hang on.
All right. Well, folks, Jeff Meacham has called in to NoDQ Live. Let me know if you guys can hear him. Let me know if you can hear and see me. This is crazy tonight. This is unprecedented here on NoDQ Live. The show must go on. We must finish this.
I'm here.
Jeff Meacham is here, ladies and gentlemen. So, Jeff, now that I have you here live on NoDQ Live, what were your thoughts on Raw overall? What was your favorite moment and your least favorite moment? Let's start off with your favorite moment.
At 8:10 when the credits.
When the credits rolled. So I'm guessing you were not a big fan of this week's show.
Not a big fan of this week's show, boss man. I gotta tell you, it was one of those things where the minute Seth Rollins got out of that match, you knew there was either going to be a swerve finish in that we thought Finn was going to win, now he wasn't, or some sort of shenanigans at the end. Lo and behold, shenanigans at the end.
Yeah. Well, let's backtrack a little bit because I did not get a chance to talk about the segment with Braun Strowman and Elias. So I'm curious to know what you thought about the segment. I enjoyed it. I was very entertained by it. I thought it was one of the best Raw segments of the past year, at least, maybe even longer. What did you think about that segment with Braun Strowman bringing out the cello or whatever it was and singing that song? Did you like it or not?
I found it amusing in that it was something you wouldn't expect out of Braun Strowman, but I honestly think they're trying to do anything and everything to salvage the Elias thing, and people. And don't get me wrong, people are still very much into Elias, but it seems as though WWE doesn't know what to do with him. They kind of just have him keep coming out there, strum the guitar, insult the people, sing for a bit, and then he gets his comeuppance. Like there's no real end game to the Elias thing.
I thought it was a good segment. I'm not sure where it's going to go for Elias in the long run. Now, I did like the part where he brought up that he beat John Cena and Braun Strowman in the same night. But then, of course, Strowman came out and kicked his butt and hit him with the cello. I thought that was awesome. Again, to agree with what you said, I'm not sure where Elias goes long term past WrestleMania, maybe even past the Elimination Chamber. I'm not sure where he goes. Ooh, Hamp Connell in the chat room just called you a snowflake.
Who did?
Hamp Connell called you a snowflake in the chat room. Jeff just huff and puffed.
Hamp Connell, what's that?
All right, we just lost Jeff here, all right. Yeah, Jeff just got disconnected. Anyways, let's go back to Raw. Jeff was not at Raw. It was actually Interstate Kyle that was at Raw. Wait a minute. I think Jeff's getting reconnected here. Hold on a second. Jeff, are you there?
Ham Connell is a conspiracy expert.
Is he now?
Yes, he is, because he got me thrown off the air here.
Well, maybe he's the same person that got me thrown off a few minutes ago and I had to start this second stream. I
think it is. No. Hemp doesn't like the fact. Is it hemp or is it hamp? Like hamper or is it hemp like marijuana?
Oh. Hey, careful. Don't be making the drug references here. I'll get kicked off again, dude.
I'm asking a question. Is his name pronounced hemp like the leaf or is it hamp like hamper?
Hamp. H-A-M-P.
Hamp like hamper. Okay, well, the problem is he doesn't like the fact that his dirty comments on the NoDQ phone got deleted. So
all right, I think we just lost Jeff again. Well, Jeff, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. Oh, you're back.
I've been here. What are you talking about?
Okay, we were losing you there for a minute. Okay, so tonight's definitely the experimental edition of NoDQ Live. It's been all over the place here. This has been pretty much the biggest train wreck in the history of NoDQ Live. But as I like to say, it is what it is. We're going to wing it. We're going to make this entertaining one way or another, damn it. I insist.
Right.
This will not be a dud. This will not be a failure. This will be the greatest NoDQ Live of all time, at least the most entertaining. You missed it, Jeff. I just took off all my clothes when I got frozen. But, you know, nobody got to see anything, so I had to get dressed. And, you know, it's pretty cold here in Portland. It was only about 40 today. It was sunny, though. Believe it or not, Portland is not freezing cold and rain all the time. It was actually sunny today. It was just cold. So I had to get my clothes back on. I had to put the beanie back on.
Yeah, as opposed to Santa Clarita, where it was cloudy and didn't get above 55 today. So
that's pretty cold for there. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about the main event segment, which was the Fatal 5-Way match. Actually, before we get to that, we had Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, which I thought was, again, like John Cena and The Miz, it was just every Roman Reigns match you've ever seen. But I have to say, Cesaro, or not Cesaro, it was Sheamus. It was Sheamus because WWE referenced, Michael Cole did, they referenced the feud they had a couple of years ago. I have to say, Sheamus put up a great effort. He was very game tonight, just like The Miz was very game against John Cena. Your thoughts on both of those matches?
I liked the matches in that, you know, actually I really didn't, it's a lie. I don't even know what to say about either one of the two big names anymore. I mean, we see the same match every time. Cena or Roman get beat down, beat down, beat down. Superman come back, they win the match.
Yeah, pretty much it's the same thing.
It's very easy to see why both those guys, through no fault of their own, are getting crapped on every week.
Yeah, and I just felt like it was obvious that Reigns was going to win the match. And what annoyed me was during the Cena match, like Michael Cole's like, can John Cena make his big comeback? And that's like the big teaser when they go to commercial break. And I'm like, okay, we know how this goes every time Cena's making his comeback. It's always going to happen.
I know, it's awful.
Just once, I want to see Elias go for a pin, Cena kicks out, and then Elias goes for the second pin and pins John Cena. Just for a surprise. Just so we get to see something different. Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, it's like I said, it's very WWE today, period, is the predictability. And don't get me wrong, Dusty Rhodes, the great Dusty Rhodes himself, predicts key, but not to this degree.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Jeff? And then I'm gonna see if Virtue wants to call in. Any final thoughts you have about the show?
Yeah, put a Virtue call in. I have a very poor connection here where I'm at. So thank you guys for listening. Tune in and give your massive shit for me.
All right, follow Jeff Meacham at _Jeff Meacham. And thank you very much for calling in, Jeff. I appreciate it. We'll get you on another week. Maybe get a few other people on. Yes, Virtue. Virtue. Take it easy, Jeff. Virtue, call me on Skype, and I'll get you on here to get your thoughts on the show. So the main event was the Fatal 5-Way match, which I thought was a good match. I enjoyed it. I was a little surprised by the ending. It was a double pin. It was both Seth Rollins and Finn Balor pinning Bray Wyatt, I believe, the eater of pinfalls, of course. So the big teaser at the end, who won the match? They both pinned Bray Wyatt, and that was the end of the show. It was just a brief stare down, and then the show was over. And that was Raw. So next week, we'll find out. I'm assuming we're going to get Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. I mean, that's what I would think is going to happen. It will be a one-on-one match to determine the final spot and keep people tuning in on the go-home show prior to Elimination Chamber. 7-man chamber or 1 versus 1. I think it'll just be a one-on-one match. People are telling me they announced a 7-man chamber on Facebook. Okay, if you guys are serious here, if you're not trolling me, that is stupid, because this was an actual cliffhanger to get people to tune in to next Monday's Raw. Okay, now I gotta check, because you guys might be trolling me here. That would be incredibly stupid if WWE just gave it away without having people tune into Raw. All right, wait a minute. Let's see here. I'm looking on here. I'm not seeing it. I'm on WWE's Facebook right now. If you guys are trolling me, I'm going to be quite annoyed with y'all. Kurt Angle has a solution following the end. It's a stupid video. Yeah, I don't want to watch the video. Can't they just say what it is? God dang it. I'm going to go on WWE's Twitter account. I know this show has been a disaster tonight, this No DQ Live. I apologize, guys. This isn't the best No DQ Live. You know, my momentum was just completely thrown off by the first video being canned. And then, all right, wait a minute. We got somebody calling in here. Virtue has called in to No DQ Live. Virtue, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Harvey?
I'm doing good. So, have you been on WWE.com? Did they make this a 7-man chamber match?
According to Big Jeff, yes.
Okay, because that is incredibly stupid if that's the case, because when Raw was over, I'm like, okay, I'm curious to see what's going to happen on next week's show. You know, see the follow-up to this. There's an actual cliffhanger. But now, apparently, they announced a 7-man chamber. How do you even do a 7-man chamber?
Well, they should have had, if they were going to go that route, they should have had Seth and Finn have to share that pod and both be released at the same time. So even that would have been stupid. But, hey, they want to make something different. So now everyone's going to want to know what the new chamber is going to look like.
Yeah, 44 seconds ago, literally 44 seconds ago, Raw GM Kurt Angle has decided that both Seth Rollins and Finn Balor will enter the Man's Elimination Chamber match. So there you go. They just gave it away instead of, you know, making people tune in next Monday night to see what's going to happen. They just give it away on Facebook and Twitter. What?
Well, does it matter? I mean, does it really matter? It's going to be Reigns and or Strowman. I mean, let's face it. We know who the finals two are going to be.
That's just, what's the point of doing a cliffhanger? They should have just had Kurt Angle come out at the end then and say they're both in the match. How stupid.
It is. They don't know how to pay it forward anymore.
Oh my goodness, that's awful. By the way, your connection's a lot better than Jeff's. Hopefully Jeff can find a better spot, or maybe just Cleveland, you have better reception there. I'm not sure, but you sound crystal clear. How does Virtue sound, guys? Does he sound good on the live feed? Let me know. Anyways, Virtue.
Here, let me do a test. This is my yard now. How did that sound, everybody?
That sounded perfect. Everyone says you sound good and clear. So anything you would like to say about Raw tonight? The floor is yours.
I thought it sucked pretty much. I did enjoy the Reigns and Sheamus match, because Sheamus, man, he looked good tonight. You know, the thing is, yes, Aaron, predictability with Cena and Reigns going over and doing their thing, but I really enjoyed those two matches. But overall, it sucked. I mean, when the Miz's promo was the best thing on Raw, again, which, you know, he's that good, but 3 hours in the Miz's promo was the best thing on Raw. That says a lot.
Yeah. Now, what about Braun Strowman's segment with Elias? What did you think about that? Because it was pretty much universally praised, and I thought it was the best segment on the show personally. What did you think about it?
I didn't hate it, but the thing, and I did pop for when he broke the bass.
Yeah.
But like, I'm so used to hearing him with that screaming or that big deep voice. So when he was singing like he was at karaoke at a club, it was but maybe that's what was entertaining about it. I don't know. But that was a little weird to me at first. Maybe I have to watch it again.
Well, yeah.
But I didn't hate it. I did not hate it. I mean, I was entertained because Elias was in it.
Yeah, when it first started, I'm like, okay, this could end up being a disaster. But then the crowd was reacting to it, and it was fine. It wasn't bad, and it turned out to be a great segment. And, of course, him hitting Elias at the end I thought was excellent. So, yeah, I thought it was a great segment, and it just it reinforces my opinion that Braun Strowman should be the guy. I mean, he was able to do the comedy, and the crowd not only didn't turn on him, but they enjoyed it, and they were entertained by it, which is something your boy Roman Reigns hasn't really been able to do with the comedy. So, Yeah,
but I want Roman to be a heel. And the thing is, they're never going to do that because of the John Cena effect. But Braun works as a babyface. So, yes, if they want a babyface champion, Braun Strowman's the guy over Roman Reigns. I only want Roman if they push him heel, but they're not going to. That's why I'm behind Roman, for that small hope that they'll finally do what they never did with Cena. But I just don't think they will.
I agree on that completely. But anyways, Virtue, anything you would like to plug? I know you got your video you're going to be doing with Big Jeff tomorrow night. So anything you would like to promote?
No, just follow me on Twitter, at NoDQ_Virtue, and go check out that public service announcement with Big Vito and I. You'll enjoy it.
Sounds good, man. Thank you very much for calling in tonight. I appreciate it, and you can have a good night, my friend.
All right. See you guys.
All right, take it easy. All right, that was Virtue's Rage. Follow him at NoDQ_Virtue. That call turned out really well. His quality was good. Jeff does have a lot of good insight, but his quality, I'm not sure. Santa Clarita, for those of you that don't know, it's very hilly, and the cell phone reception can be hit and miss up there. I'm not sure why, if Virtue just has better cell phone service or what, but he was crystal clear in there. Offman Rules just left in another $20 super chat donation. New video, new donation. What's the NoDQ email again? Offman, you don't need to send me any PayPal. Just send me your address on Twitter, and you're getting a beanie for sure. And if you would like me to sign it, I will sign it. But for those of you that would like to send in a PayPal payment, $20, I will send you a NoDQ beanie. And if you write in the memo that you would like it signed, I will go ahead and sign it. Eugene says Braun has a good voice. And Brother Nero says, will Cena turn heel before Reigns? I don't think either of them are turning, honestly. John Cena going out there and interacting with that fan makes me think it's not going to happen. I don't think either guy's going to turn. I believe Cena's getting close to the age that Hogan was at when Hogan turned heel, but still, I would be very surprised if either of them ever do a traditional proper heel turn, because they're already heels to the certain group of fans out there. I don't think WWE's going to mess around with that dynamic. I just don't see it happening. Travis W. says Cena turning heel at this point is pointless anyways. That's what he says. Cool Hand Dylan thinks it might be Rollins versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. I mean, that's definitely been one of the rumored matches for the upcoming WrestleMania. Rollins is most likely going to need to face somebody like Kurt Angle to avoid being stuck in a Andre the Giant Battle Royal type situation. Although there's been reports out there and rumors about the Andre Battle Royal being a bigger deal than usual because of the Andre the Giant documentary that's being produced, and I believe it's going to be premiering right after WrestleMania. So most likely the Andre Battle Royal will be a bigger deal this year, perhaps ever in WrestleMania history. TJS says, what's going on with the Revival? Well, WWE hasn't completely given up on them yet. They beat Anderson and Gallows this week. So, yeah, I think they've beaten them twice now. I mean, I've lost count, and I really don't care. I'm not invested in the feud. I just don't have the interest in it. So, I don't know what else to say about it. Brother Nero says, is AJ Styles overrated? I don't think so. I think AJ's the best performer in WWE. He was never the greatest promo, but he has gotten way better since coming to WWE. He has improved significantly on the mic since coming into the company, and he really adapted to the WWE style. Not everybody does. AJ Styles really picked it up and proved that he deserves the recognition he's gotten for all these years. I mean, people saw it in him going back to 2002. This guy says, how many colors will the beanies be in? Well, right now, this is just a limited quantity. It'll depend on how much demand there is for the beanies. But, you know, this is the traditional look for NoDQ, the black and the red. So maybe down the line, I'll change it up. if there's enough demand for it. Hero Villain 5 says, will the look of the chamber change with 7 men? I'm really intrigued by this. I'm still, my head hurts. Where's that Jackie Chan photo when I need it? If you guys know that image of Jackie Chan just losing his mind, that's how I feel right now about a 7-man elimination chamber and not waiting until Raw to have the resolution to this. You give it away on social media. You had a great cliffhanger for once. For once, there's a cliffhanger. Imagine Breaking Bad, Tahajali, the end of the episode with the shootout, and then you go on Twitter an hour later and they say, oh, by the way, Hank dies on the next episode. You'd lose your mind. It's idiotic. You don't give away the cliffhanger an hour after the show on social media. Why? That is just one of the stupidest things. I don't understand it at all. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm out of touch here. And I don't get what works in business these days. I just don't understand it. 20 years ago, this would be unheard of, where they would just give away a cliffhanger an hour later on the internet. Oh, I'm just frustrated here. We should just talk about Breaking Bad for the rest of the show. How many times have you seen Breaking Bad, says TJS? Probably 4 times all the way through. Maybe I'm going to start it up again because I need something to regain my sanity a little bit. This guy says, have you heard the Jim Cornette podcast talking about gimmick matches killing wrestling? No, I have not. And if that's the case, gimmick wrestling would have been killed a long time ago because there's been gimmicks for as long as I can remember, since before I was born. So I don't even understand that. I mean, you must be taking it out of context, or there must be more to it, because just that sentence alone doesn't really make any sense. Kayfabe Candy S says everything is killing wrestling according to a Cornette, to what he says. Watch Under the Dome, great show. Duly noted. Hamp Connell says, do you listen to Vince Russo? I've heard clips of him, and I am not opposed to the idea of Vince Russo coming back to WWE, because at least the shows would be entertaining on a consistent basis. And, I mean, even Vince Russo understood cliffhangers. Maybe they weren't the best cliffhangers, but at least Russo understood the concept and did things to get people to tune in the next week, even if it was ridiculous storyline telling. I don't get this. I mean, this is just beyond my comprehension of what I'm understanding here. And yeah, Curtis, you make a great point. Russo in the PG era, or PC era, whatever you want to call it, wouldn't work out so well. I have no idea what happened earlier, by the way, with YouTube. That was just the weirdest thing ever. It just completely froze on me. I had to, it closed my app, I restarted it, and it had nothing. So it pretty much just threw off the momentum of the whole video. But hopefully this was good enough for you guys. I tried to give it 100% effort here tonight. Next time on NoDQ Live, which will be tomorrow night, maybe we'll do this again with somebody calling in. Do the call-in thing as a regular thing. Let me know what you guys think. Tweet me. Did you like the call-in thing? Do you think it has potential? Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think it takes away too much from the video? I would like to get some random people calling in and giving their thoughts on Raw or SmackDown or any topic that they have. Maybe like a live Q&A a little bit. Cool Hand Dylan says, I like the call-in. Power Packers 90 says, can we call in? Anthony says, keep doing it. So looks like positive feedback here. Jason says, should have more callers. Hero Villain 5 says, I would love to call in at some point. So we'll keep doing this. We'll keep doing the call-ins, and hopefully next time, tomorrow night, will be a little bit smoother sailing. Maybe Big Vito will call in. Who knows? You never know on NoDQ Live. It's out of control here. Anything can happen. So again, pick up a beanie over at PayPal. I was going to say Pro Wrestling Tees. You can get the shirts there. This is completely independent from Pro Wrestling Tees. So if you'd like a beanie, it's $20, U.S. residents only. That includes shipping costs. NoDQMISC@gmail.com. And if you would like, put in the memo you want it signed. If you would like it signed, I'll do that for you. And that'll do it. That'll do it for this edition of NoDQ Live. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Hopefully it's all in one piece. I won't have to do 2 parts. But again, thank you guys very much for your support. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.